All right, it's 2:17 in the morning on a Monday, and gonna try to knock out the whole trip west today. Starting off 125, 818, and gonna try to make it all the way to Rapid City tonight. just rolled in back home and sitting at 129, 127. So I just got back from my trip out west, and these are the beers I collected. One of these wasn't collected from out west, it was collected from Ohio, since that's the closest state that sells it to me. I'll sell that. I'll save that one for last. These are 5 that I collected. I think one of these is from Montana, the rest are from South Dakota, and one of them is from Pennsylvania. This is one of my favorite things to do, is collect craft beers from out of state, especially since we have so much here, but it's nice to see what other places have. One of these, this one here is really good. It's about as much of a happy medium of an IPA as you can get. I guess I'll dig in. I'm gonna pour these in a glass so you can see what they look like. And I flipped my phone around because it looked like it kept auto-focusing. I am going to start with Canyon Cream Ale from Crown Peak Brewing Company. I think they're in Spearfish. Yep, Spearfish, South Dakota. Western edge of South Dakota, almost into Wyoming. A lot of the craft beers I saw were from, I think they had a couple of different breweries in Spearfish. We stayed in Lead, which is kind of into the hills from Sturgis, which is then the next town past Rapid City, which would be the biggest city in the area. But it's a cream ale, and while we were there, someone had noticed that this is what I got, and they had good things to say about it. Very light color. I doubt this is going to have an IBU on it. 5% alcohol, and no mention of an IBU scale. But very light. Not overly creamy. Should probably mention that was Crow Peak. That I said Crown. All right, what's next? Black Hills Blonde Ale by Sturgis Brewing Company. This one's a decent one that I remember. It goes down easy. 5.3%, just stronger than the last one. I don't think it's going to be that much darker, but I haven't drank one of these out of the can yet. And very clear. Oh, not as clear as the last one. Smells good. That's pretty fair. It's not anything I'd write home about. Anyway, on to number 3. I am going to go into another happy medium one. Nothing I'd write home about, but not a bad beer. This one is Lewis & Clark Brewing Company Golden Ale, or as it says on here, Enjoy Yellowstone Golden Ale, product of Montana. And, well, it looks like the name is Yellowstone Golden Ale. Which is probably from a more beautiful part of Montana than I've been through before. Not on this trip, but on a previous trip. When we were coming back from Calgary, we wanted to take a different route than we had came in. And so after Medicine Hat, we dropped down. There's a road that goes down to Havre, Montana. And there's basically nothing on it. And so you better go to the bathroom and make sure you're empty when you're in Medicine Hat. I think there's like one place that you can go between there and the border. And then after the border, it's 45 minutes, I think, to Havre. Anyway, that's all besides the point. This is another decent beer. I'm gonna pour it in the glass and see how it looks. And hopefully that's not all beer I'm wasting. It's another light one. One that comes to my head, this looks like a similar color, being a little bit darker, which I don't have multiple glasses, so I can't do a side-by-side comparison of these. But when I hear Golden Ale, I think of Kona. What is it? Big Wave, I think they call their Golden Ale. This one smells better. I would say this one smells better than Black Ale's Blonde. Not to say that any of these are bad beers. All of these that I brought home are good. None of them are bad or have sat around too long to go bad, like I've had with some local beers. But yeah, it smells good. It tastes pretty good too. Tastes like it's got some fruity elements to it. I didn't read percentages to you. This one's 5% alcohol by volume. No mentions of IBUs. I'll show that to you guys. Hopefully it's focused on it. It does taste a little fruity. It doesn't taste like overly fruity, like they've added some extracts or anything, but that's a good tasting beer. I should mention I bought this at the gift shop that is in front of the entrance to Devil's Tower. And it was over $18 after tax. Might have been over $19 after tax. Probably cheaper if you find it somewhere else. Be aware of that. And on to the fourth. This is the one I've been looking forward to the most. This is another one from Crow Peak. This one is 11th Hour IPA. This is the one I would expect the most out of any of these to have an IBU count on it. And it doesn't. This one's 6.5%. So maybe a little bit low, but in a normal range for an IPA. It smells good. It smells really hoppy. And it says on there, pure hoppiness. And we'll see how this one looks. And I think it's on the clear side for an IPA. Normal color, I would say. I think hate to go by smell so much, but that is always the first thing I do. These I only bought singles from. I bought 2 singles at the hotel we were staying in Lead. So that's me. IPAs used to be my jam, and I feel like they are for a lot of people when they get into craft beer, but then they get burned because there's a lot that are just over the top and nasty. Oh, that tastes good. It actually tastes a little sweet. I hope it's not an insult, because compared to craft beers, it feels odd to pour this one into a glass, but it is special for Michiganders because they don't sell this here. It's Yuengling. And Google currently says, if you Google if Yuengling is sold in Ohio, one of the top hits is that Ohio's the only state that borders Pennsylvania that Yuengling is not sold in. But we bought it at a Kroger in Sandusky. So that's not true. Definitely tastes different than Budweiser or Busch or Pabst or Hamm's